WHITradio.org and High Tech High School in North Bergen, New Jersey to Wake Up High Tech. I'm your announcer, Crazy Carlos, and as always, your host, Sam the Man. Yeah, good.
I'm Sam the Man, that's Mo the Machine,
Yep.
Crazy Carlos. We're going to have a fast show, super fast show. Mo, very quickly, you only got 4 minutes, explain your topic, and we'll have a little bit of a discussion before we move on to chassis.
Okay. First off, Happy New Year's to our fans and watching.
We don't have time for that.
Happy New Year's to you guys. All right, so there's
We have a whole year left. Come on.
There's a bill called Senate Bill 13. It's currently going on in Oklahoma, which will prohibit people from wearing hoodies in stores. You can be fined anywhere from $50 to $500, and you can face up to no more than a year in county jail for this.
I mean, this is just, a clear violation of, our rights to wear sweatshirts and stuff, and I don't think this will stand for that long.
It's very dangerous the way it's written too, because I read part of the article you showed me, and the way it's worded, there's exemptions, like you can wear it when it's cold out, you can wear it like when you're out in a parade or something, like standing, like it's like reasonable stuff, but at the same time, you can use the argument to say, if it's not 30 degrees outside, you can't wear a hood or something. That's like ridiculous. That. When it's still cold, obviously.
People have different tolerances to things like
that.
And
it's meant to protect business owners, like from crime and stuff. It's also accused as a racial profiling tool, like you told me.
Yeah, again, like Chaz and I talked about this before the show. I was saying how this is another way for racial profiling to cause problems. And again, with the way things happened recently with the Eric Gardner case and before with the Trayvon Martin case, I really don't think it would help at all, actually. Maybe if the law just said in stores, it's different, but the way it's worded, I really don't agree with
It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
So,
Benjamin Franklin famously said, and I think that this fits into that because of the implications for protection that is, the backing of this. He famously said, those who give up liberty for security deserve neither, something along the lines of that.
I agree.
And I think that this fits into it perfectly because the more freedoms you wind up cutting for security, I mean, what are we going to wind up with? And in fact, I think this plays into our next story very much so because we give up a lot of freedoms for security in terms of monitoring our riders and our communication, and I think that that's our next story.
So there is a survey done by they asked members of PEN, which is like an international organization of riders. They have like different like factions, like the one in America, one in England, etc. So they asked riders all over the world in countries like free countries like the U.S. and semi-free, semi-oppressed countries. I don't know what their definition is, but so the survey concluded that 75% of riders they felt somewhat oppressed in their countries.
In the free countries.
In their free countries.
84% in the partially free and 80% in the not free.
So that's ridiculous when the majority of riders in a free country feel oppressed to write about certain topics as if like they can like be blacklisted or something. Like that's crazy.
Well,
it just shows the extent that monitoring and stuff has gone to, and I think that we're getting dangerously close. I don't want to sound like Glenn Beck, but we're getting dangerously close to what the Maoist sort of resurgence in China is doing now with the cutting down of the writers, professors who want to speak their voice in China against the Communist Party. What were you going to say? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, you were talking about...
It's a problem, to be honest, because it's like the United States, for example, when our First Amendment itself is protecting the liberties of free speech, and yet 75% of writers feel this way. That is a big problem.
Oh, and how you were talking about screening and all this, like you can't really write what you want to write, and there are examples of this all the time. With, for example, Oklahoma, it was like a little newspaper firm, whatever you want to call it. It gave a story about Kevin Durant last year. And afterwards, he had a really good stretch of games. But the guy who wrote the report about Kevin Durant, you're kind of insulting him, but not really. Again, when you're not doing good, that's what what happens. And the guy was criticized harshly, and I haven't really heard much about him. He's
probably blacklisted now.
That's exactly. And
it's like the same thing when picking any profession. If you're gonna go into law, if you write something unfavorable against a certain law firm or like a certain law or something, you're blacklisted. It's a really tough thing. And now with that writers, they feel like they can't get their work published because they're going to get blacklisted for writing about a certain topic.
You can't give your opinion anymore.
I love the show, The Newsroom, and recently in the new season, without giving anything away, one of the In season 3, I mean, I'm sad that it's being canceled, but that's besides the point. In season 3, one of the producers, Neil, comes up with somebody gives him 27,000 illegal documents about a propaganda company that incited a rebel war in Kundu, I think it was. But there's a good line that I think sums up something similar to this, sums up the crux of this, which is the FBI is going after them with the Espionage Act, all of these things, and one of the producers, I'm not sure who it is, says it seems like the government has a lot of laws to protect itself from its citizens.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a very good thing, because it's like, you know, it really shows, and I mean, it really encapsulates, you know, the feeling that a lot of writers and a lot of people have that they can't really speak their mind because the government is going to put them in jail and with claims that they're affecting national security and stuff like that. When you never know if that's really the case or not. They could really just say that, and it doesn't really even have to be true. All right, I'm Sam the Man, Mo the Machine,
Yep.
Ratchet. Oh,
The memory of Ratchet Richie.
The memory of Ratchet Richie.
He's still with us in mind and heart.
Good night and good luck.
The memory of Ratchet. The ghost of Ratchet.